So I was going to talk about how AI is ruining everything, because, well, it is. But I got really sad, so instead let's talk about something even worse. Vampire video games.
I could gaze at you right now and then take you to a shady corner and have my way with you, and leave your carcass to the rats.
To say the very least, I've been waiting for a good vampire video game to sink my teeth into. Please, love. I've had like several existential crises since my last video, from YouTube blocking it worldwide to, you know, shit-talking Logan Paul and KSI being my most popular video now. So, you know, I'm currently moving house, so everything's kind of up in the air. Somebody help. Anyways, that's enough rambling from me, so thank you for being here, I really appreciate you, and let's get into the actual video. Like and subscribe. So, picture the scene, right? It's 2019. The world is still vaguely normal, and my god, 5 years was a long time ago. Anyways, so I was really bored one day and I was like, you know what? Let's look up some cool video game trailers. I came across this really cool game called Control, and this other one called Cyberpunk 2077 that I was super hyped about, and then I pre-ordered. I don't actually regret that one though, because I fixed it since, so that one's fine. But the important one, I came across Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Now, I've not actually played the first one, which I know, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this topic. However, wait, because honestly, I need to play it, which I will do whilst editing this video most likely. So editing me can probably add their 2 cents in here. Okay, cool. Thank you, editing me. I appreciate you adding your thoughts. So anyways, the thing about this game, though, that I really need to talk about is just how broken you can honestly get your development for a video game. It's genuine. It's almost impressive how bad this is. So first off, I just need to point out the initial trailer was very pretty, very shiny, very nice and all. But like a lot of recent trailers for some reason currently, it's very much just 3D animation, which I love 3D animation. I adore Love, Death Plus Robots. However, this is a video game. This is not an animation, and it's not Detroit Become Cringe, so there should be actual gameplay included in the video game trailer. Maybe that's just my hot take, I don't know. But when you can't actually show your gameplay, you know, one of the biggest selling points for a video game, that's already a little bit worrisome. But this game is such a dumpster fire, I actually don't know where to go from here. So of course we've not really heard much about this game for a while. Or at least I hadn't, because, well, with a very cool, super duper lovely new game, The Blood of Dawnwalker suddenly appeared. I was like, oh yeah, remember Vampire Masquerade? I wonder whatever happened to that game, which is why we're here. Because since I've last heard about this game, they fired really important, substantial people who worked on the first game and were working on the second game, and they even switched developers, which, yeah, we're about to get into. So let's start. Let's start with how they actually switched developers, right? The cool thing about the Chinese room is A, they're owned by Sumo Digital, big up Sheffield, and B, they've actually made some banger games in the past, such as Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Yes, it's a walking simulator, but it's still very fun, and the music is beautiful. Much more recently, Still Wakes the Deep, which I think everybody loves, especially because who can't hate a bit of good Scottish accent? And I think there was like one northerner in there as well, so I'll take that too. So in short, the game was being developed by Paradox Interactive, and they were like, yo, Hardsuit Labs, do you like this cool idea for a video game? Can you please watch our 5-minute PowerPoint presentation and tell us what you think? And then they became best friends for a little bit and started making this game, until suddenly one day they were no longer best friends. And Paradox Interactive had to go find a new friend, and that friend happens to now be the Chinese room. So I really just need to point this out very quickly. During my actual research of this, I came across this beautiful website that you can currently see titled What the Flip Happened to Bloodlines 2? So A, I just thought this was a brilliant title, which honestly is the reason why I clicked on it. But B, I genuinely wanted to know more about, well, why all of this actually happened. And I actually really like their explanation, so I'm just going to quote it for you here. The Bloodlines 2 pitch. I know all about this process, not just because it's public knowledge, but because I was there for the pitch meeting. The pitch meeting happened in Las Vegas. I almost forgot why it was in Vegas, but then I remembered it's where the DICE convention happens every year when there isn't a pandemic. If you're not familiar with DICE, you're not missing much. As one described it, it's where game executives go to jerk each other off, pretend to felicitate contracts, give awards to themselves, and compliment each other on the hard work the developers at their studios do. The biz dev guys go there to feed on the same executives and devour them slowly from within like humanoid parasites. It's all part of the vampiric theme. I'm sorry, I just love this already. Like, this guy is so cool. I love how they write. It's just so good. So, Paradox and Hardsuit raided Las Vegas for DICE. We, being schleps, went there without going to DICE because we're not executives. I went in because I wanted to help Hardsuit with the pitch. I'd been working with Hardsuit for some time prior on the title. And to encourage the Paradox folks... Why can't I say folks? Oh, it's because I'm British. Y'all folks. And to encourage the Paradox folks, the pitch was a good idea because I knew the Paradox folks from years before. This encouragement was very selfish of me, and in retrospect, all of what was going to happen, probably kind of shitty. Yeah, selfish, yeah, shitty. Still, it wasn't hard to rationalise. It had been many years since the original. I wanted someone to do it. And I thought Bloodlines fans, me included, had waited long enough. I was mostly thinking of myself though, because, surprise, I wanted to work on it in any capacity. Now that Paradox had secured the vampire license, it seemed like it could finally happen, if we could just convince them to do it. Interestingly, Hardsuit didn't even get 1/3 of the way through the PowerPoint pitch before we stopped it and just started to chat with Paradox about the project more informally, to get them more engaged with the idea. PowerPoints are easy to zone out. Paradox did get engaged. They agreed to put pen to paper, blah blah blah. Which, all in all, sounds good, and to be fair, a bit more long-winded than my UwUwU besties, let's go get together in Las Vegas, maybe suck each other off, and then sign some paperwork. And suddenly Vampire Game is now legally happening. But also, I think this blog is really important, because, you see, to explain my contract, I worked on Bloodlines for almost 2.5 years, from mid-2016 to mid-2018, and then my contract came to an end. They didn't use anything I wrote during this time, which was a number of major characters and side missions. Check my LinkedIn. This made me sad, but it's not my choice. So what happened after? Why did the staff change, and why did it move to another developer? Did it actually move to another developer, or is that bullshit? Because bear in mind, this article was, well, this blog was written about 3 years ago now, and to all of you asking, I have no f***ing idea. It did get moved to the Chinese room. We definitely know that now, because they even made a bloody announcement trailer, which is the most backwards thing you can think of. Ah, we have this video game. Now anyways, let's announce the developers. What is this project? Nobody I worked with in the trenches is still there, and I've never asked what happened. It all sounded painful. Not only did I not want to know why they were fired, well, let go, quit, or whatever, but I respect their right to speak for themselves, and they have, although in limited capacity. I do think they were very classy and respectful in their responses. Which nicely segues me onto Brian Mitsoda, which, yeah, I'm bad at pronouncing names, so hopefully I said it right. So, Brian Mitsoda was the lead writer on the original Vampire the Masquerade, right? So it would make sense to have him in this one too, right? Yeah, I completely agree until, you know, the company decided to randomly fire him. He was quote-unquote suddenly terminated from his position as narrative lead. And I will say, I completely agree with Chris Avellone. I really hope I said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't, bro. Because this is very classy. And I'm gonna go ahead and just quote some of this. Until recently, I was narrative lead on a video game called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 for Hardsuit Labs, Inc., being published by Paradox Interactive, which owns 30% of Hardsuit Labs. After almost 5 years involvement with that studio, I was suddenly terminated on the 7th of the 16th. Wait, no, that date does not make sense. Oh, is it? Oh, it's American. Oh, it's American. That this came as a shock to me is underselling it. I've worked on Bloodlines 2 for almost 5 years. The story and main cast were initially conceived in my living room. I helped develop the pitch for Hardsuit Labs and helped pitch the project to Paradox in Las Vegas. I've been in charge of narrative since the beginning, worked long days and sometimes weekends just to deliver a successor to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And I've never been led to believe that I haven't succeeded. Very obviously, I have been also involved in PR, marketing, and I'm not going to continue quoting that bit. We're gonna go ahead and move forwards a little bit, right? I was not part of the conversations that led to the decision to delay production, and to my knowledge, there were no delays caused by Bloodlines 2 narrative development. I'm confident and proud of the work that I and the team put forward. When that work will be seen and what form it takes is unknown to me. It was a pleasure to work on this game and with many people at Hardsuit Labs and Paradox, and I'm sorry I won't be able to see it to the end. I spent years on some of the best characters and dialogue I have ever wrote. It's meant a lot to hear from the Bloodlines community, and I do hope that whatever's finally delivered is as satisfying as intended to be. Thank you for all who have supported me throughout the project. Genuinely, this is such a bloody good way to honestly just say, so I did work for these guys, but I got no clue what's going on either, mate. Honestly, it's such a shit show. It's so classy. I love it. It's so good. So back to Chris's blog. I'm gonna just quote this because I like it. To be clear, me and Brian Mitsoda didn't get along. This is because he is way too tall and I hate his fingerless gloves. He probably hates me because I'm short and I do not wear gloves that aren't made from human skin. Despite our height differences and choices of gloves, however, I have a lot of respect for him. He is the first person to use Filth Maven to describe a monster on the unreleased Torn RPG all the way back at Black Isle Studios. And I still can't get that f***ing description out of my head. Thanks, Brian. You filth maven. I'm so gonna use that in future. You absolute filth maven. It's so good. It's just great. But anyways, back to the blog. When I found out Brian Mitsoda was fired, quite suddenly it seems, my reaction was, what the everlasting fuck? One of the best, if not the best, qualities of Bloodlines 1 was the writing. It's not even up for debate. If you want to debate it, good luck in your future endeavours, but be prepared to lose a lot. And I completely agree as well. Literally, if you look in the comment section for any of these YouTube videos that show anything about the game, they all say, we just hope the writing's good. We hope the writing is good. We hope the writing and the story and the design is mwah, chef kiss. It needs to be good. Now, this is kind of the part where I need to then actually mention, so for anybody who doesn't know Chris Avellone, and honestly, and I'm really sorry, but I didn't either until I went to their LinkedIn. And I can't really see much more because I'm not logging into LinkedIn and you can't make me. However, all I honestly needed to see was started as a designer at Interplay. For anybody who does not know, the company Interplay, they created the first Fallout game. The absolute masterpiece. Brought us all the way to Fallout 4, somehow. But either way, the claymations and everything from Fallout 1 is phenomenal. I need to finish playing that game, even though it does keep bullying me, but it's really good. Yeah, there's something wrong with me. Anyways, so I guess the question that I sort of have at this point, honestly, is, well, okay, this game might not be the best. However, is it better to have a game cancelled, like it would have been if it weren't for the Chinese room deciding, oh hey, yeah bro, we'll totally help you out with this? Or is it better to get something that is potentially disappointing? I genuinely don't know, by the way. Please tell me, honestly. Comment section is right there. Just give me all of your thoughts, all of your opinions, everything. Just maybe even just put a bunch of poop emojis down there. I don't know. You do you, bro. It's such a pretty trailer. I'm still so sad at this, honestly. I was so hyped. This looks so cool because it was like this whole like hardcore parkour like vampire stuff, and then you've got the really cool story and everything looks pretty, and it's that one scene from The Shining, and it's like, oh, it could have been so good. Now, all of this development 5 years later, and we get to the most recent trailer yet. Which, honestly, why can't we upload better than HD quality videos to YouTube nowadays? Come on, bro. It's 2025. Give me 4K resolution for your video games. I want to feel the crinkles inside of the character's face. But all in all, I will say, some of the design doesn't look particularly bad. Like, I know that sounds almost harsh, but it genuinely doesn't look bad. Like, some of the characters look completely fine, but like, you know, the hair looks a little bit funky. It looks very much like it was from, well, a couple of years back, shall we say. But at the same time, considering that this project was almost, you know, in the ground, and suddenly it got resurrected, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. I don't know, like, to an extent, I'm almost trying to, like, sympathize because I genuinely am just sort of, you know, in denial and I really want a good vampire game for once. But at the same time, I genuinely don't really think that much good can come out of this. As pessimistic and as horrendous as that really sort of sounds, I genuinely do feel bad for the Chinese room because I don't think they can pull this off. Like, yes, they have created some amazing projects in the past, however, when this game is half-baked already, the main designers who you actually need, like the narrative designers that you actually need, have been fired, so you can't even work with them now. And well, you've almost already got a fan base against you, even though you've not really done anything yet. I don't think this game is gonna be, well, what everybody wants it to be. Hopefully it'll be finished, hopefully you'll be able to play it, maybe you'll be able to even run it on launch, which would be a first for most games nowadays for some stupid reason, but I really don't think it's gonna be that amazing RPG that we all want. Because honestly, out of all of this, all I really want is a good vampire game. Bonus points if it's an RPG where I can go around as an uwu e-girl and just
rip and tear until it is done.
Ooh woo!
Like, honestly, that's just the vibe that I'm wanting. That's all I want, okay? I don't want to play as some stupid mopey dude who's complaining about his sister and saying, oh, we'll find whoever's done this to you, even though you're the one who killed her, Jonathan, you absolute toaster. Sorry, I misspoke. I meant you absolute filth maven. Honestly, bruh, Jonathan is so stupid. I hate Vampire. I hate Vampire. I hate it. It's such a stupid game. It's such a broken game. I hate everything about it. The story shit, the voice acting shit, the animation shit, the gameplay shit, the fighting shit. Everything is shit. I just want a good vampire game. That's all I want. Anyways, my final thoughts on this, honestly, are just, at least in better news, the Blood of Dawnwalker looks amazing, because of course it does. It's made by the developers who worked on The Witcher 3. Well, one of the directors who worked on Witcher 3. But, irregardless of that, I genuinely think that if the original developers who were around to work on the narrative for the first video game for Vampire Masquerade were still there to work on the second game, maybe that would help. But even then, I don't think they could save it. So, yeah, that's my super duper happy, everything's all fine, everything's all lovely video talk today. Words are not my forte right now, I don't know why. Anyways, if you liked this, leave a like or a dislike. I don't care, I just need interactions with this video, because then I get more views on it, and then more people get to see it, and then more people can talk about how stupid of a situation this is. I just want a vampire video game where I can be uwu e-girl. I'm not asking for much, just everything. SMH my head. Thank you so much for watching that. I really do appreciate it if you actually, you know, sat here through all of my ramblings and a little bit of my insanity. I'm going to go play Helldivers and make poor life choices. Maybe I'll see you in the next video. Who knows?
Subscribe so you get to see me next time.
Bye bye. You absolute filth maven.